smoker. We raise a bet, cause you're the joker, chipped off. You are the chalk, and I can be the blackboard, you can be the top, and I can be the wall. Yeah, when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, I got faith in you and I. So put your pretty little hand in. Even when we're down to the wire, babe. Even when it's do or die, we can do it, baby, simple and plain. This love is a short thing.
Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? What's going on? How was y'all weekend starting out? I'm feeling great. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Am I the one with the genealogy book? Yeah, that's me. This is the book you're talking about? Genealogy book. Hey, I haven't been on here in a while. I miss you. Need to order ASAP. Oh, make sure you Aqua. Make sure that you have your notifications on so that when I post something you can get notifications. What's up for the person who said they had a question? What's going on?
There's more to imagine when you listen. Audible.
Oh, for you guys who don't know, I have a letter drafting class tomorrow for all the people who said yesterday they had issues with drafting letters. TikTok never lets me know when you're live. Complain to them, please complain, because I don't know what they doing. I don't know what it is. Also, y'all help me out with engagement. I got literally 2 likes. It's 14 people on here. If y'all just like it one time, I would have had 16. Y'all run my likes up for me. So that's another reason why y'all don't see me, because I'm being black. They call it shadow ban. I was about to say blackball. They call it shadow banning. So if I don't get enough engagement, they're not gonna share my videos to people. You get it every time. Shout out to you. You maybe it's because you engage on my stuff. If you engage, I think they do send it to you. If I want to settle and discharge bills, what should I do first? Learn your laws. You should read consumer laws. TikTok never lets me know you like. Yeah, you the same one said that. What you selling? Nothing. Not a damn thing. How you following me? You don't know what I'm selling. Or was that a joke? Were you trying to be funny? Inquiring minds want to know. Was that a genuine question, or were you trying to be funny? Zevin. Because I got time. I forgot to laugh. I did. Everybody is selling something today. Well, if y'all can read, my caption says, come study with me. So I mean, first time I see you. It say you following me though. How this your first time seeing me and it say follow? When I click your name, it says you following me. If this your first time seeing me though, nice to meet you. My name is Rebecca. I teach consumer laws. I'm raffling off a legal book in my link in bio. I have some free stuff in my link in bio. So like, I know it's a lot of people selling y'all shit today. I give y'all stuff every day, right? So it's some free stuff. There's no caption. There should be a title to this live. Like when you first scroll past me on For You, it's something that says, come study with me. And then there's a sprout. Yeah. I don't know why you don't see it, but yeah, it's there. But anyway, if you follow me, from my content, you can tell that I'm a teacher of consumer law. I also give a lot of information. All the information on my page is free. So unlike these people who are trying to get y'all monies, this ain't what that is. Teach me how not to keep paying my car note. Okay, so I have a class on that. I don't think I have one coming up. Let me see. Because that's not something I could just say, oh, this is what you do, and you're out of it. That's not how it works. Yeah. I don't even have one scheduled recently. So, until I don't have one on the schedule for like the next couple weeks. But I also offer one-on-one. So if you want to get your People Lazy Library, okay. People Lazy Library free. 7, why are you here? Because you seem like a troll to me. I'm just trying to figure out what your comments. Why are your comments? What's the deal? The library is free and the link in my bio is also free. I'm just gonna get you out the mix though, because I don't know what your deal is. I don't like people like that though. I ain't like his energy. Anywho, tap the screen, good people. Y'all continue to tap the screen for me. Continue to tap the screen for me. Okay. So back to what I was saying. How many of you guys put some fire in the chat if you are currently reading consumer laws? Okay, Lay. You the only one reading consumer law right now? Is Lay the only one in the comments doing consumer laws, reading consumer laws right now? So all of y'all are consumers, but nobody knows or reads consumer laws but Lay, right? Okay, we got 3 people. What's up, Keita? I'm gonna play the music for a little while and give some people who serious about their finances a chance to get on here. That's definitely the problem. The problem is in my opinion, because this is just my opinion. My opinion is, I think that people come and look for people on social media to give them answers instead of giving them resources. That is the problem. The problem, and y'all might not want to hear this, but I'm going to say it. Because people come to me in my DMs, in my inbox, everybody life finna get cut off, everybody car note, everybody tired of paying car notes, everybody tired of doing shit, but nobody wants to read. When I say how many people have read consumer laws, when I tell you that I have free consumer laws in the link in my bio, people get quiet. And then they come back and ask me shit like, well, how do I stop doing this? Read. It starts by reading. You can't deliver yourself from an evil that you're not aware of. And there's no, if there was like a simple way to just tell you to, okay, you do this, you do X, Y, Z, and that'll stop everything, right? It's no way to do that. And I know that shit sound good because some people are out here selling y'all dreams, but that's all it is. It's a dream. I'm the person that's gonna give you tough love, and I'm gonna tell you the real, and I'm gonna tell you where to go find the real, and I'm gonna give you resources. But y'all gotta wanna put some type of work in. Teach me to fish, don't give me nothing, sister. Preach on. I respect it, cause that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you how to fish. Step one in fishing is having a fishing pole. Right? You gotta have a bait, you gotta have a pole, you gotta have something to reel it in, right? So you need things like this. I don't see a link in your bio. So it's the only thing in my bio, literally the only thing in my bio says pin site. And then my name is after it. So you might have to copy it and then put it into like a web browser. Or if you don't see it, if you truly don't see it, you can email me. I'm in front of my laptop right now. I'll email you the link. So my emails, there's a link in my bio that says email, and there's one that says phone. Click the one that says email, send me an email. And tell me you need my pen site link. But for the people who, back to my analogy, for the teaching you how to fish thing. I mean, you want paper or plastic? This paper too, but y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? So I can give you all the resources. I have resources in the link in bio. I have, but y'all gonna have to learn. Like nobody's gonna tell you the answer is 4, but don't teach you what 2 plus 2 is how you get there. I'm not gonna do that because nobody did it for me, and I don't care if that sounds selfish. It makes no sense for me to give you a loaded firearm and you don't know how to use it. It makes no sense. And the people that's out here giving y'all all this information probably don't have no remedy coming along with it. I post remedy all the time. So when I say like stuff like the laws, was anybody on my live last night? Put a 1 in the comments if you were on the live last night. If y'all were not, I'm gonna give y'all these laws to read again. So I started reading this book that I've shown y'all 2 or 3 times on this live this morning. I started reading this to the live last night. We were talking about the securities market and how this shit actually started way back in 1791. So securities have been around for a while. There are government securities, there are personal securities, there are private. So corporations can create securities within their corporation and sell them to the public as well. How you doing, Tyra? Thank you for coming in with the gifts. I appreciate it. Okay, I did find it. Great. All right, Charlie. I'm glad you found it, baby. Glad you found it. And don't feel bad. You're not the only one that overlooks that link. I get that all the time. So look, in addition to securities laws, you also need to understand you are a consumer, and consumers have rights, right? I am a person that is getting cold in here. I'm a person who I teach people their rights all the time. I talk to people about their rights all the time. I also read up on my rights all of the time. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to when I'm working on a client, some paperwork for a client, or when I'm just working on some stuff for myself, like right now, I'm just upgrading some letters, right? How do you do that? Because people ask me that all the time. A lot of people ask me on live yesterday about letters. I have such a hard time writing letters. Okay, so use the words that are in the laws. How many of you guys are in a process of some type of civil or a criminal dispute? Whether it be with the state, a private corporation, public utility company, whomever. How many of you guys put a 1 in the comments if you are right now disputing something? 1 in the comments if you are disputing something right now. What's up, Rochelle, girl? What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, also, y'all, so I had, Rochelle, I don't want to say this, but you may have won the raffle by default. You were the only person that actually paid the $25 for the raffle. So you may have won that damn book by default. I'm going to give it to you, too. So I'm going to give, we're going to do the drawing tonight. If nobody else, you going to win by default. If nobody else, that's just going to be on them. So yeah. Y'all have a for people who always ask about law books and talking about how scarce they are and how y'all can't find them. I did a raffle. I announced the raffle. I'm raffling off a $300 law book for $25. Only one person took the initiative to draw the drawing was supposed to be at 1. Yeah, I was eating at 1. I was eating, so I didn't get on here. But it's nothing to draw. If you're the only person, if you're the only option, sis, you get it by default. Indigenous Queen, what? I don't know what you're asking what to. I don't know what you're asking what to. But yeah, Rochelle, you may have won. Ain't nobody else, they still haven't. I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked too. It's the first time for everything, though, I guess. I don't know. I know a lot of people right now are probably spending money on shit that's gonna be worthless. Today is the day where people go out and spend extra money on shit that is worthless. Worthless. I can't do no more. She said a $3,300 book for $25. Hey, look. Listen. I tried to help. I try to help y'all. People don't want the help. People don't want the help. Nobody is going to take $3,300 out of their pocket to pay for that book. Nobody on this live, nobody on social media. I want a business law book. You got to get what I'm raffling off. I got to get what I'm raffling off. I might run across a business law book that I want to raffle off, but this is a brand new book. And I have multiples of them, so I don't get paid until Monday. Dang, I'm sorry. Where do I send the $25 to? The link was in my bio. The link is in my bio. But I'm gonna have to work out. I'm gonna have to auction off another book though, cause I'm gonna have to get it to Rochelle. She was the only one that paid attention and followed directions. So don't go run and do it now. Only if you see. Don't go run and do it now, cause I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to give it to her. I'm gonna have to give it to her, cause nobody else paid attention. Y'all gotta start paying attention. When I offer something to y'all, y'all gotta start taking it. I'm not here to take from you. I'm actually giving y'all a lot of shit. So let me show y'all the book that let me show y'all a Rochelle book. I actually have 3. I was gonna get the other one to one of my friends for Christmas. Where is it? 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 Here it is. I'll pay for the PDF version. I don't have a PDF version. I'm sorry. I don't have a PDF version. I don't have a PDF version. Do y'all think I should raffle off the third one? Should I raffle the third one off? These books are brand new in the pack. So this book is sealed shut. This is a brand new book, you guys. She say wait till Monday. Okay, I'm gonna wait till next week. So y'all gotta stay tuned. Turn them notifications on. Keep yourself tuned in. All right. Keep yourselves tuned in. I'm gonna raffle this book. I'm gonna raffle the third one off next week. I promised they booked to somebody, y'all, but I'm gonna raffle it off, I guess. Anywho, back to what we was talking about. First of all, I wanted to let Rochelle know that she won because she was the only person that joined the raffle, and also let y'all know that y'all gotta when I do stuff like this, just hop on it, cause hopping on stuff is how you get stuff. How much for the class tomorrow? Tomorrow's class is $50. It's a $50 class. The class is regular $250. The class is right now it's $50. Don't call it a Black Friday sale because these sales are going to the end of the year. So yeah, tomorrow's class is $50. We're gonna be going over. I was gonna do it tonight, but I have a brief to type for somebody, so I'm not gonna be able to do it tonight. But we're gonna go over how to compose letters, how to draft, edit letters. A lot of people, I found that a lot of people have a hard time with learning how to put things in. So it's not that hard to compose a letter, y'all. Especially if you know how to talk shit. Like, no joke. I'm pretty sure the majority of y'all that's on here are probably women. I'm sure y'all know how to talk smack, right? A lot of times we take what someone else says and use against them. So with that being said, take what the law says and use against these corporations. So show y'all for example. I'm sitting here with HR 11601, which is the bill that created the Consumer Protection Act. Everybody put Consumer Protection Act in the comments. Y'all put Consumer Protection Act in the comments. Don't use ChatGPT. Let me pause you because that's gonna be your downfall. ChatGPT is full of propaganda. ChatGPT is not gonna put in your letters the stuff that really needs to be in there. But if so, everybody who used ChatGPT would have remedy at this point. ChatGPT is programmed by lawyers who work for the bar who want to keep your ass ignorant to what the real facts are. Okay? So you can't use ChatGPT. I don't recommend that. It's not that hard to write a letter, y'all. It's not that hard. But also, if you go by what an AI system says, you have to know that the AI system was programmed by somebody that controls it. All right? Just my 2 cents. Nothing wrong with reading yourself. I'm telling you, nothing is wrong with it. So let me just show you a sample of what I'm talking about. All right, 1601. Y'all put that in comments. Stands for House Resolution. So HR 11601. This is the bill. Y'all know how a law works, right? So it starts off as a bill. The bill is presented to the other party. Either it comes from the Senate or it comes from the House. This came from the House. This was submitted to the Senate. Senate Bill 5 was the response to this. So somebody put S.5 because that's the next bill. The reason why I'm telling y'all this is because reading the actual bills is going to tell you exactly what Congress wanted you to know as a consumer. So listen to this. On July 20th, 1967, this bill was composed by the House, and then there's a list of people who composed it. And it says this bill was created to safeguard the consumer in connection with the utilization of credit by requiring full disclosure of the terms and conditions of finance charges in credit transactions or in offers to extend credit, by establishing maximum rates of finance charges in credit transactions, and by authorizing the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System to issue regulations dealing with the excessive use of credit for the purpose of trading in commodity futures contracts affecting consumer pricing. Also by establishing machinery for the use during periods of national emergency of temporary controls over credit to prevent inflationary spirals, and by prohibiting the garnishment of wages. By creating a National Commission on Consumer Finance to study and make recommendations on the need for further regulations of the consumer finance industry and other purposes. So this is the purpose of this bill, right? So this is what the House submitted to the Senate to say, this is what we feel like consumers need to know. The main things that I would take from this is that this bill was created to safeguard consumers when utilizing credit. Why would they create a bill to safeguard consumers? That must mean consumers were under fire. That must mean consumers were being taken advantage of, correct? Would you not assume that if they create a bill to protect consumers, that consumers were being taken advantage of? Okay. Also, establishing maximum rates for finance charges in credit transactions. If somebody says we have to create a bill to establish maximum rates of finance charges in credit transactions, that would lead me to assume that these people have been playing games with these finance charges, right? That y'all would infer that as well, correct? So if you were writing a letter and you just wanted to use this, I could start off by referencing HR 11601 and say, hey, look, I was recently reading House Resolution 11601 that was solely created to safeguard the consumer in connection with the utilization of credit. It required full disclosure of the terms of my finance charge. I don't remember having such full disclosures. Can you fully disclose to me the terms and conditions of my finance charge? They're probably going to send you a letter saying, hey, you signed this contract, blah, 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 blah. Either way it go, that's the way to use Congress's words, because this is you setting up yourself to be able to catch these people in the lie. So when you telling them, hey, look, the law says that you're supposed to give me full disclosure, and they start to disclose things to you, they're still not going to give you the full disclosure that the law requires, but they will show you things that if you know what you're looking for, like, say, for instance, I was showing y'all before with Verizon, how Verizon gave me the receipt to my actual promissory note. So I gave them a promissory note worth $1,500, and they wrote me out a receipt. If you give me a receipt for something, that means I gave you something of value, right? If you give me a cash receipt, like I just gave you cash, that means I gave you something of value. That does not mean it's a liability. That means it was an asset, right? Just like a check. So let's say I wanted to write a letter to the people who I bought a car, a house, or whatever from. I could start off referencing the Consumer Protection Act. The Consumer Protection Act was created for this very reason, because corporations and banks and lenders were not fair with consumers, right? I know they aren't fair because in the beginning of the bill, it says there was a need to safeguard the consumer in connection with the utilization of credit. The act goes on to say, let's see, the Congress finds that economic stabilization would be enhanced and the competition among various financial institutions and other firms engaged in the extension of credit will be strengthened by the informed use of credit. So with this full disclosure, you could say something like, my next paragraph will probably say, I'm requesting this full disclosure because even Congress says that economic stabilization would be enhanced and the competition amongst you guys would be actually competitive and fair if I was fully informed of how my credit is being used. How many of you guys know that your credit, you do not have full disclosure? Put a 1 in the comments if you know that. You don't have, if you don't know, you know now, I'm telling you. You do not have full disclosure of how they are using your credit. No matter who your company, I had somebody on Facebook earlier was trying to tell me they were leaving Verizon and going to somebody else. And I'm like, baby, they all doing the same thing. None of these companies are playing fair. This is how they make their money. None of them are playing fair. In fact, Congress said a significant segment of the population are misled by the manner in which the terms of conditions of credit are offered and contracted for, as well as by advertising in or affecting commerce, which fail adequately to disclose the terms of credit offered by to buyers in making purchases or obtaining loans payable in installments or offered under open-ended credit plans. Such failure to adequately disclose terms to increase the uninformed and untimely use of credit by the public, thereby adversely affecting economic stabilization. So these guys are basically creating a economic downfall by being unfair, by not telling you fully what's going on with your credit. That means they're using it more than you have. They're using more credit than you actually have out there, which is creating a recession type thing. So they're saying that we losing all this money, we doing all this and that. It's only because these corporations are being greedy. They're overextending your credit. And what I mean by that is, I know y'all probably think credit is unlimited, but somebody has to pay it back. So if the person that they're saying is pledging does not have the capacity to pay it back, then who's going to pay it? Nobody. It's going to end up being a lot of debt. Y'all understand how that's working? So they are continuing to resell debt to different people, which is creating more debt. Make sense? So these corporations, like, think about it with your collection. Think about it. So a corporation, let's just say Cox. Cox is the corporation. Cox has a debt, $25 debt for you. When that debt is 120 days past due, they have to write that off as a loss. When they write it off as a loss, it's supposed to be done at that point. Instead of them just making it or letting it be done, you know, what they do is they sell your personal information to somebody. And now that person is now chasing you for a debt that they are so convinced that consumers are dumb that they will they will commit fraud. They will commit identity theft by selling your information to a third party and then have that third party chase you as if they are doing something that is legitimate. How many of y'all that's happened to? How many of y'all have had a collection account? If you've had a collection account on your credit, you just were not informed that that was identity theft. That was a corporation selling your personal information to somebody else under the hopes that that other corporation cannot repeat that. Sure. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? Cox Cable is an internet provider or cable provider in Louisiana, where I'm from. So if Cox Cable, you're a beast keep giving game. I got you. So if Cox Cable, if you owe them $25, let's say you owe them $25. After 120 days, the law requires them to charge that debt off. Thank you for the rose. When they charge that debt off, that means they are canceling it. Matter of fact, I think I got some 1099Cs. Let me see. Let me show y'all. Because sometimes people need visuals. Take a walk with me. I think I have a box of them in my closet. I'm going to show y'all what this document looks like. So, let's see. Okay. So after 120 days, y'all do me a favor. Y'all like this post, share this post. Give me some more people on here so I don't have to say this more than one time. I'm going to take a brief intermission and get some more light in here and open my window. All right. So, as I was saying, after 120 days, they have to submit this form right here. This is a 1099-C. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this, or does it need to be switched around? Somebody tell me in the comments. Can y'all see this? Or is it backwards? Okay, y'all can see it. So this says cancellation of debt. There's a copy A, a copy B, and a copy C. All right. So copy A is for the Internal Revenue Service Center. Copy B is for the debtor. Copy C is for the creditor. Under no circumstances does a creditor have the authority to withhold this sheet. This one. Y'all see that it says for the debtor? Copy B for debtor. Copy B is for the debtor, okay? Y'all do me a favor and keep liking. If y'all would like me to keep talking, keep liking. Y'all run my likes up, please. And thank you. Please share this as well so I can get some more people on here. Not trying to sell y'all nothing. I'm actually trying to put y'all up on game. So it's a lot of people right now telling people the wrong information about these forms. I'm trying to spread the word. So y'all help me out. If each of the 42 people on here just press share one time, I have 51 shares. Y'all do me a favor. She say my finger going numb. I'm trying to get some more people to help you. Y'all like. Share, please, and thank you. Hey, Sunshine, how you doing? I'm gonna pause for a second and give y'all a little encouragement. Give y'all a little brief intermission. Thank you. Thank you. Doing well. That's great to hear. All right, so as I was saying, y'all keep sharing. I'm going to keep talking. Y'all keep sharing, keep liking, keep running my likes up. This helps me on the For You page. So for the people who saying y'all don't see me when I get on here, it's because y'all not engaging and they think you don't like me. Okay? All right, so this 1099-C copy B, a corporation does not have the authority. If y'all don't believe me, call the IRS Monday morning. Ask them. They do not have the authority. It's actually against the tax code for them to hold on to this form. If this form is $600 or more, they have to give this to you. All right, $600 or more, they have to give this to you. I'm going to read what the back of what this form says. Instructions to the debtor. Let me show it to you. Y'all say that. Say instructions to the debtor. Instructions to the debtor. You receive this form because a federal government agency or an applicable financial entity, aka a creditor, has discharged, canceled, or forgiven a debt you owed, or because an identifiable event has occurred that either is or is deemed to be a discharge of debt of $600 or more. Y'all heard the word discharge, right? Put discharge in the comments if you heard me say discharge. So if you have a charged off account, charge off starts with a C. 1099, this form 1099 ends in a C, right? It also says cancellation of debt, cancellation, discharge, all the same shit. So this says you received this form because a federal government entity or applicable financial entity, aka a creditor, has discharged, canceled, or forgiven a debt you owed. How many of y'all have charge-offs on y'all credit report? Which is evidence that one of these documents have been filed. Again, I'm not telling you to go and file this. I'm telling you that they have already filed this. They are already in tax violation if they have not given you a copy. Now, if your debt is not $600 or more, they are not required by the law to give you anything. Let's just get that clear. They are not required by the law to give you anything if it's less than $600. If it's more than $600, if it's $600 or more, they are required to give you this. If they do not give you this by somebody put January 31st in the comments. January 31st of the next year. So if it was filed this year, if it was charged off this year, January 31st, this January that's coming up, if y'all had anything that was charged off this year, January 31st, put 31st. So January 31st is the day that they have to, just like your W-2s. This is like a W-2. This is in the same tax class. So by January 31st, they have to send you this. If they do not send you this, they are in tax violation. They are also in antitrust. They are also they can be found under the antitrust law because they are doing things to I don't want to say mishandle, but that's what it is. They mishandling the trust. They know they're supposed to do this. They just know that you don't know what the hell to do if they don't do it. How do I deal with that? Because they didn't give me nothing. Somebody tell them the answer. Because I know y'all done heard me say this before. When you don't do this, I done made videos about it and everything. When a corporation does not send you this, what can you file with the IRS? You could call the IRS. What document can you file with the IRS? What document do you file with the IRS? 3949A. All right, somebody listening. So 3949A is a whistleblower form. You will file that form along with a brief synopsis of what actually happened, what type of law they're actually breaking, what they did not send to you. You could also call I saw somebody put the 211 form. That is also another form that can be used just like the 3949A form. So, yeah. If you don't get one of these by January 31st, you need to file a 3949A form. Y'all put 3949A in the comments. Now, somebody put 1099A in the comments, and I just so happen to have one right here, so I'm going to show y'all this document as well. This is a 1099A. Y'all see that? This is not a form that you fill out, okay? This is not a form that you fill out. Unless you are a corporation and you are filing taxes or discharging something per your corporation, you do not fill this out. They are responsible for filling this out. Now, I'm going to read to you because this is a A, B, and C thing too. A always goes to the IRS. B says it goes to who? Borrower. C says it goes to the lender. Okay? So if you acquire any property, if you get any type of loan or whatever, and you have one of these, you should have copy B. By when? When did I tell y'all they're supposed to give y'all them copies? When did I tell y'all they're supposed to give y'all them copies by? When should you have your copy B? If you purchased a house or something this year, when should you have your copy B? All right, January. So y'all listening, January 31st of next year. So by next year, you should have these documents. So you can file on your, so supposedly, and I'm not telling y'all to do this, but supposedly they would want you to file this as income for the C. And the way I want you to think of it is like balancing your books. So if you have a negative, right? If I have a negative $5, you owe me $5. So that means I'm negative 5, right? That means you're plus 5 because you owe me the money. You got the money. I'm lacking the money. So I'm negative 5, you're plus 5. Okay, for me to cancel out my negative, I have to add 5 more to it, right? The simple math. So to add 5 to it, I go to the IRS with this form. Hey, look, I have a negative 5 account. I don't believe that this person is going to pay this negative 5 account. So I'm charging that shit off. I'm going to write it off. This is bad debt. The first box says creditor. Second box says creditor TIN, debtor TIN, debtor's name, address, debt description, interest, amount ditched. It says amount of debt discharge. So let's just highlight that. Amount of debt discharge. There's no way for them to say that this document is not for a discharge of debt. It literally says it. It's backwards. Let me change it. Amount of debt discharge. Y'all see that number 2? Number 1 is date of identifiable event. Number 2 is amount of debt discharge. Number 3 is interest. Number 4 is description of the debt. Y'all see that? There's no way that they can say that this does not constitute a discharge. It literally says it on the damn document. Not only that, if they were to actually give you your form and stop holding it like you kind of special or something, then you can read the instructions to the debtor. And they actually say that this should be filed as income. I'll text you my Eddie, and I need yours for the hoodie. Rochelle, I sent it to you in an email. I thought I sent it to you already. But yeah, text me. I'll text it to you. I'll text you my P.O. box. So y'all look, these instructions are things that you should go and read, even if they didn't give you your copy. Because, I mean, you could take something, like let's just say for the people who said that they did not ever receive a 1099-C form. Had you been me, I love this. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. No problem. Had you been me, or had I been you, and I had not received my 1099, you know what I would do? I'll take this blank ass copy. I would open this up to copy B. I write them a nice little letter and say, hey, look, according to my credit report, you filed a 1099-C and charged this account off with the IRS. I've already spoken with the IRS. This is me in the letter now. I've already spoken with the IRS. They've informed me that charge off constitutes a discharge as it's reflected in the 1099-C document that I have attached. And I would attach this document to there, right? I would also say something like, You guys had until January 31st of the previous year or this year or whatever year it was that was filed for you to produce this document. And since you have not, I will be filing claims for you against you for antitrust. Where do you get the 1099-C form from? You get this form from your corporation. I have these forms because I have a few corporations that I have to file these for. But you wouldn't get these blank forms. You would get this form filled out already from the actual quote-unquote creditor. So I'm not telling y'all to fill these forms out. I'm telling you that they are owed to you. They're owed to you. If you have a charge off on your credit report, that means somebody got a credit. Y'all heard them say, oh, they getting the credits back from the IRS, right? New on this site. Welcome, Jackson. Welcome. So yeah, if you want to see a visual of this, you can go on the IRS website. But it makes no sense for you to print these out and try to fill them out yourself because you're not responsible for this. They are. And they're doing it, whether you know it or not, whether they tell you or not, whether they admit it or not, it's happening. It's happening. With that being said, how many of you guys are trying to dispute something on your credit right now? How many of you guys are working on your credit? And Digital Queen, read the comments because I just answered that question. For all the people who are working on your credit, and who are trying to learn how to write letters, let me just be a voice of reason for you, okay? Letters do not have to be specific. They do not have to be worded the same. They should not be worded the same, okay? When lawyers write briefs and documents and whatever, they are not writing it the same way they wrote the last one. They are not copying off of another lawyer and writing the same thing. They're trying to be unique because nobody wants the exact same remedy the person got before them. I don't care if you won or not. I don't want the exact same remedy you got. I want better. So I'm going to talk a little bit more shit in my letters, right? So my whole purpose of the class tomorrow, full disclosure class is $50. This is a letter writing class. This is so you understand how you can write letters without having to go pay somebody every time you want a template, without having to think that you need to go let ChatGPT write your letters. Really just so you can comprehend how I go about doing this. Because like I said, all the clients that I work for, I don't do templates. I don't do templates because it's no need to. If you know the law, and this is how I will print out a law, and I have notes. Okay? And you best believe that each one of these things, I done highlighted shit, I done underlined stuff, every page. This is stuff that I put in my letters. This type of shit I put in my letters. I'm circling stuff. You'll swear I was a teacher. I guess I am y'all teacher, but you would swear I was somebody's teacher the way I be, the way I do these laws. And I'll take this law and I'll go compare it to the actual law that, when is your next sue class? What does that mean? What does that mean? The next settlements class? Let me see. There's a link in my bio that'll give y'all all these dates. But I'm going to tell you since I think I have it up. December 4th. So next Monday is going to be the next class on settlement. All right. If you need my help before December 4th, there's a link in my bio. Right now, my consultations are 50% off. So you can use code Simone, SYMONE, at checkout. And all of my consultations, all the PDFs, all of that stuff is 50% off. Let's see. What else I was about to tell y'all? I was about to say something. Oh, also, now I can't give y'all too much right now, but using other lawsuits and referencing other lawsuits as well. That's always going to be a pick me up when you're filing a case. Before you file a case, because all the time we don't have to file cases. The settlements I was showing y'all, the settlements I showed them in class the other day, they never made it to court. These people settle because, do you help with foreclosures? Not really. I've consulted people on foreclosures, but I can't go into court and like represent you or anything. I'm not a lawyer, y'all. Full disclosure, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a consultant, and I teach you law. So I can teach you what your rights are as it pertains to foreclosure, but I wouldn't be able to like go in there and represent you. Link in bio for all classes, consultations, freebies, and others. Yeah, y'all go get them freebies too. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Thank you, Black Butterfly. Thank you, baby. Oh, thank you, Michael Love. I love y'all too. Thank you for the roses. Really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate that. Really, really, really. I hope that my whole goal here is so that you guys get the resources y'all need to get y'all feet wet when it comes down to this legal stuff. I don't know everything about the law. I'm not a lawyer or any of that, but I have some great resources, and I've gotten some great results just from exercising the rights that I learned by reading. So that's why I try to convince you guys to read as much as you can. Like somebody asked me about litigation. So LexisNexis has a website where I get all my so these are different books. Y'all see how this is? Texas Litigation Guide, Texas Litigation Guide, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. So for the people who are trying to learn how to litigate, all of these resources is there. Federal Rules of Evidence. I probably have to check this book out to see it. I know it came up. Okay. So like for the people who are, if you taking somebody to trial or if you trying to go to court, these are things you need to pay attention to. Table of contents. Y'all might need to go sign up. What's the website is that? This is LexisNexis. It's LexisNexis. Are you referencing to the USC? So to answer, that's a great question. To answer that question, I reference all type of codes. So right now, this is HR. It's House Resolution. This is not even a code. This is a bill. All right. This is a bill that later turned into the Consumer Protection Act. But I'm going to reference this bill because the actual act that was created, that developed from this bill, they changed so much stuff in it that I like using the original words. Like I like using Congress's words when Congress said that consumers, need to be safeguarded. That's major. Are you available for consultations next week? Right now I am. My consults book pretty fast though, but right now I am, and like I said, consults are 50% off right now. So you should probably run to my pen site and book and see if the date that you need me is available. Have you ever seen a church as a bank? Churches, post office, a lot of places could resemble banks. This LexisNexis website, y'all, for the people that's asking about the website. Where my charger at? God damn it. Okay. Yeah, this is LexisNexis. Description goal. Progress 19 of 500. Thank you for subscribing, Black Beauty. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the roses, Ricky. I appreciate you, Ricky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Where are y'all tuning in from? Put where you're tuning in from in the comments. New Jersey, okay, Jersey in the house. New York, y'all neighbors. Okay, North Carolina, all right. Okay, Florida in the building. Nevada, all right. That's the first time I've seen that city in Nevada. Winnemucca, is that what that say? Minnesota, South Carolina, New Jersey again. All right, Ohio, okay. All right, y'all kind of spread out. Okay. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. How many of you guys are familiar with what a security is? How many of you guys are familiar with what a security is? No idea. That's some honesty. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you for the tiny dinies. Masai's still gonna be locked out though. I'm not opening my door. He do too much. Child does too much. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all the background. Not too much. Girl. Child, he bad. He gotta stay where he at. So I'm gonna read to y'all a little bit of this book. In class, what day is it? Wednesday, we'll be going over the first 4 chapters of this book. This book is like 1,600 pages. So yeah, we're gonna go over the first 4 chapters. So I just want you guys to know what securities are, the markets, things like that. Y'all know what a security is, right? If you don't know what a security is, we finna talk about it. So the securities industry in the United States is a complex structure of many disparate elements. Some of its separate aspects are described and analyzed in detail in the succeeding chapters of this report. The broad term securities market encompasses both the markets for distribution of securities into public hands and the markets for continuous trade in outstanding securities. Both kinds of markets are elaborate structures geared to bringing buyers and sellers together. Trading markets consist of both a limited number of organized stock exchanges and a greater fluctuating number of far less organized over-the-counter markets. So we'll talk about what over-the-counter is in a little bit. The sole purpose of the modern marketplace is to provide the public with an efficient and dependable mechanism through which securities can be bought and sold. So the thing is, if you are not aware of what the securities market is, how can you create them and buy and sell them? You realize you're selling a security every time you sign a contract and give it to somebody. Y'all knew that, right? For the person that's asking about the book. Y'all know that when y'all sign a contract, you are creating a security, correct? So each of you have securities out there. When y'all were born and your birth certificate was created, that is a security. Y'all knew that, right? This is just the introduction to the Securities Exchange Act. I'm trying to see what else I should tell y'all. How many of you guys deal with buying and selling stock? Somebody said this is new to me. It's okay. It's all right. Everybody got to start from somewhere. I told somebody that earlier. Everybody have to start from somewhere. Crypto kind of different. Crypto's a little different. All All right, so when you are buying organized securities from like the New York Stock Exchange, those are not those are not called over the counter securities. Over the counter securities would be ones sold from private corporations. So to give you an example, have y'all ever heard of somebody releasing an IPO? Like a corporation going public, releasing an IPO? All right, so that means they're going to become publicly traded, meaning that they would then have to abide by these securities regulations. So this is a securities regulations book. So for the people who have heard of it, when a company releases an IPO and they go public, that's a public offering, right? So to offer something publicly, you have to create a prospectus document and register with the SEC, meaning that you have to abide by certain rules. So the thing is, the reason why I'm even teaching on securities is because you got to know more than just the document that you signed was a security. You got to know how these securities are regulated. You got to know how, if they are transferable. You got to know what makes them void. So y'all listen to this. Securities traded in exchange and over-the-counter markets represent many different transferable evidences of debt or equity interest. And broker-dealers may handle a number of different types of specialized in one or a few. The securities range from those issued by the government, including federal, state, and local and agency bonds. So what bond do you think would be a federal bond or a state bond? I could tell you what the state bond is. Who knows what your state bond is? It literally has the state name on it. Y'all gotta talk back to me. I ain't gonna talk to myself. I could do that off TikTok. Birth certificate, yes. So your birth certificate is a state bond. Just think about it. Your birth certificate is a state bond. At the top of it, what does it say? The state of such and such. Right? Each one of y'all birth certificates says a state name, right? Then it's stamped by the registrar of the state. Then it's signed by somebody else. Right? That's a state bond. So this says these securities range from, and these are securities that's being traded over the counter as well as on the national markets. They range from government securities, including federal, state, local, and agency bonds, to issues of corporations, including bonds, debentures, convertible issues, and common and preferred stock, which is what I was talking about, like buying and trading stock inside of corporations. In addition, there are such other securities as limited partnership interest in real estate syndication and trust participation certificates. Another important category with unique characteristics consists of investment company shares, or in the case of contractual plans, certificates evidencing an undivided interest in such shares. Each of the different types of securities is usually employed by an issuer to satisfy a particular kind of financing need. Now, why would they create, if this book says each of these different kinds of securities is usually employed by an issuer to satisfy a particular kind of financing need? What financing need would they need to create birth certificates? Let's talk about it. What were they trying to finance when they created them? What y'all think? Banks? No. The banks don't need they don't need financing. They don't need financing. What were they trying to finance by creating the bond that they created? Perfect. I think who is this? Islam. Oh, wait, no. Solomon. I don't know what they say. OB1. You got it. So government, they're trying to finance the government. They're trying to finance the government. They tell you that your tax dollars finance the government, right? Y'all really don't make that much money. No shade. Americans statistically do not make enough money to do all the shit that they claim taxes do. The stats show. Therefore, it doesn't work if they don't study. So if these people created a birth certificate for you to finance the government, how do you think the financing is taking place? I know y'all probably don't know, but what are your guesses? So y'all heard of the wealthy or the rich and wealthy families, right? Rothschilds, all these different wealthy families that run the world, basically. So they basically invest into the economy. So when you are born and your promissory, I don't want to say your promissory note, but it is a promissory note. Your security is created. There's also money that is put into circulation at the same time. So y'all know it's no surprise that they are printing money, right? Y'all know this is monopoly. We're living in a matrix that is basically textbook the game of monopoly. So these people print money. Every time somebody is born, every time birth certificate is put out there, they print this money and they put it out into the economy in the hopes that you are going to work to get that back. All right. So there is essentially more money out there than there is gold to back the money. It's been this way. That's nothing new. This has been going on since like way before the 1930s. I know a lot of people feel like it started happening in the 1930s. According to this book, this shit started happening in 1791. The original bond was called a continental bond. So y'all listen to this. During the infancy of this country, Philadelphia, the seat of the Continental Congress, became the economic and banking center of America. It was also the home of the principal American holder of continental bonds. Continental bonds, which formed the early basis of securities trading. As might be expected, therefore, the country's first stock exchange, the predecessor of the New York Stock Exchange. Who would have guessed this shit started in the 1700s? I can tell you one thing, I would have never guessed it. I'd have been saying 1933 every time they asked the question. Until I started reading this book, I would have said 1933. 1791 is a long time. Really long time. And if you think about it, people were buying continental bonds. Never would have guessed. Yeah, never would have guessed 1791. I would not have either. 1791 in Philadelphia is where this shit started. Who can guess who was the first firm that started doing this bullshit? We talked about it the other day, yesterday on live too. So there's a famous firm that is still around that began this securitization. Not JP Morgan. That's a good guess. Not BlackRock. Another good guess. Not Joe. I think you tried to put Goldman Sachs. Yeah, Goldman Sachs was the first. Y'all, this shit goes deep. Imagine what was happening in 1791. They were trying to finance a war. So for them to finance the war, they sold people continental bonds, which were not worth the money that they were. So let's look up. I'm going to show y'all. What I just want to know is, how did they convince people to buy a worthless ass paper? What would make you buy it? I gotta understand that so I can understand why we do it today. Why do we work for worthless ass pieces of paper? The worthless paper that you work for every day, the green paper that we're saying is not worth the paper that it's printed on. Why we work for it? We don't work for it because of greed. Not because I agreed anyway. So Continental refers to paper currency issued by the Continental Congress in 1775 to help fund the American Revolutionary War. Continentals quickly lost value, partly because they were not backed by a physical asset like gold or silver, but also due to the fact that too many bills were printed. Same thing is about to happen to the dollar. Let me show y'all this. So first, let me show y'all this. Show y'all I didn't make that up. All right. Continental bonds, which form the early basis of securities trading. Y'all see that? Bam. Snapshot. Take a picture. Whatever you got to do. Now let's go here. Continentals. What it means, history, what it's worth. So these were given out in 1775 by the Continental Congress. So Congress really started all this bullshit. So the government really started all of this fraud. Selling people paper that was not worth the money. It wasn't worth the paper it was printed on. The invention of the U.S. Mint, the Federal Monetary System, and the U.S. Coinage Act of 1792 all quickly replaced the paper continentals. I guess so. So to me, it sounds like they tried to bamboozle people from jump into giving up gold for paper that didn't mean shit. And then people were not going for that shit. So they created the U.S. Mint. Y'all see that? And then the Federal Monetary System, U.S. Coinage Act of 1792. So they replaced the paper continentals. So when people were not, y'all reading this part right here? The takeaways. That's why I have the screen on there for a reason. Y'all need to read this. Y'all need to understand this. Because it's the same shit is happening with the U.S. dollar right now. They gave us dollars for our gold. Not us, but our ancestors, our great-grandmothers. In the 30s, they gave our people dollars for their gold. And they gave them credit. And they told them they can use their credit limitlessly. You can use your credit limitlessly because we're taking everything that was valuable to you. So it sounds like they tried to do this in 1775 and the people wasn't going for that shit. So they turned around and did it with, or promissory notes. Yeah, so they turned around and did it with us. For the person that's asking for the book, y'all, this is the book. Screenshot, whatever you got to do. You got it? All right. So basically, a security is a piece of paper that they're using to secure money in the future. Now, to me, it's all a system built on fraud. It's all built on something that doesn't actually exist. With that being said, we have a right to create securities because they took our money. The country does not have the right to create a security on your behalf and then monetize that security without your knowledge your whole life. But that is what's happening. Nobody knows what to do with their birth certificates. Nobody know their birth certificate is a federal bond. The people that do know are not going to fucking tell the average Joe. So then that leaves people living their whole life never actually administrating the account that was created for them. Listen to this. I just flipped to this page, but it's still my underline. Listen to this. The ranks of securities salesmen have been swollen through the influx of considerable numbers of new recruits. As a result, inexperienced salesmen form a large part of the sales force than previously. Based on the NASDAQ figures, NASDAQ is the National Association of Securities Dealers. Figures on registered representative applications. It is estimated that in recent years, between 15 and 30% of all NSD salesmen has less than a year's experience in securities business. This means that the average broker has no idea what the fuck they doing. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, baby. So we're gonna go more into depth Wednesday when it comes down to these securities. I know I didn't talk about a lot on this live, but Wednesday we're gonna go more into depth on this, because if you guys can understand what this, like, how this all started, because a lot of these corporations that doing the fraud do not know what the hell is going on. They don't know. They really don't know what the hell is going on, and all you have to do is comprehend. Once you comprehend, this is what a security is, so I can recognize it every time I create one. Then I already know the regulations because I'm reading these books. So I know the regulations that are governing my securities. So then what I can do, I can hold these people accountable when they are violating these regulations. Y'all get that? Put some fire in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm trying to teach you guys the basics so y'all can operate like I operate. I do a lot of shit. I contract a lot, and I allow people to do shit that I know is illegal. Why? Because I'm gonna turn around and stick it to them. I'm gonna turn around and show them just where they had me fucked up at. All right. Every time. All right, so y'all ready to write? Y'all got a pen? Y'all got a pad? I'm gonna give y'all some laws that y'all need to read. I'm gonna give y'all some titles of some laws that y'all need to read, and somebody can type it in the chat. If you are new to this live, please scroll up. Please scroll up. At the very beginning of the live, there's a few codes that you guys can go and look up. These will help you further understand your protected rights as a consumer. The first one is going to be the most recent one we were talking about. So we were just talking about securities. So I'm going to tell you to read the original Securities Act of 1933. So the Securities Act of 1933. All right. So we're talking about fire fence. So we're talking about securities. So I'm gonna tell y'all the laws that pertain to securities. Okay. So the regulation agency is gonna be the Security Exchange Commission. So SEC. SEC.gov is their website. Somebody put that in the comments for me. So all of these laws can be found on the SEC's website, also on the government printing office website, also just on Google. You can go to Google. The first one is going to be the Securities Act of 1933. Number 2 is the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. So number 1 is the Securities Act of 1933. And number 2 is the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. The significant difference between those is that the first one was actually administered by the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission administered the original securities law. Then they realized that was too much for them, and they had to appoint a whole nother agency over it. That's when they appointed the Security Exchange Commission. And then the Security Exchange Act of 1934 was a law that basically incorporated them. Y'all got that? We here? Y'all understand it? Third law is going to be the Public Utilities Holding Companies Act. Public Utility Holding Companies Act of 1935. Public Utilities Holding Company Act, 1935. The fourth is the Trust Indenture Act of 1939. And as you can see, a lot of these laws they kind of like stair steppers. And what was happening was Congress was finding different issues. Every time they create a law, people would find loopholes. They would have to create another law to help like stop where the leaks were. Public Utilities Holding Company Act, 1935. Yep. Trust Indenture Act, 1939. Yep. The Investment Company Act, 1940. That's the next one. Investment Company Act, 1940. And the last one that I'm going to give you guys is the Investment Advisors Act, 1940. Investment Advisors Act, 1940. The first two are going to be the most, the ones you need to read first. Read the one from 1930. Read it in the order that I gave it to you. So the last one being the Investment Company Act of 1940. Investment Advisors Act. Yeah, so Investment Company and Investment Advisors are the last two. They both from 1940. Also, read the National Bankruptcy Act. I'm going to throw that one in there too. Just because I know nobody really talk about it. Pay attention to Chapter 10. So somebody put that in the comments. Chapter 10 of the National Bankruptcy Act. You can read the whole thing. Pay close attention to Chapter 10. National Bankruptcy Act. The list is in the comments. All you gotta do is scroll up. It's in the comments. Now, about that first act that I was telling you about, the Securities Act of 1933. That is the truth. Just like y'all heard of Truth in Lending, right? And if y'all could see my book, if y'all could just see this book, I'm gonna just show you something. So these are all the notes that I have to share with you guys. Some of the shit I didn't highlight, I just underlined. But it's a lot of stuff that I have to share with you guys on Wednesday. A lot of pertinent information that is going to help you understand the background on securities, how they work, what is anti-fraud, how do you recoup securities once somebody has committed fraud. Let's see. It's a lot of stuff in here. Conflict of laws. Information on trading in here. Brokers. Manipulation and stability. I found somebody else underlying some shit in my book. It's always interesting to find someone else's notations in a book you have. It's kind of like when we were in school and you end up checking out a book that somebody else had last year and they left some notes in there. For some reason, I used to love that. Y'all just listen to this. I'm not implying anything. I just want y'all to hear what this says. Since I just so happen to flip to this page about remedies. Thank you, Rochelle, for the lock and key. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, girl. All right, so rescission in remedies. The law relating to the remedies which can be obtained by a plaintiff who establishes a cause of action under Rule 10b-5 is still in the informative states, since only a relative handful of the numerous cases which have been brought under the rule has gotten a final judgment. However, it does appear to be fairly clear that the plaintiff may sue either for rescission or for damages in an act based on Rule 10b-5, rescission. The cases are uniform in stating that one remedy which may be available for a defrauded plaintiff under Rule 10b-5 is to seek rescission of the transaction and recover his securities. If he is a seller, or recover the amount paid for the securities if he is a buyer. Did y'all hear that? Y'all got it? Or y'all need me to run it back? Did y'all hear me say what your remedy was? This is the book, y'all. All right, the laws relating to remedies, which can be obtained by the plaintiff who establishes a cause of action under Rule 10b-5, is still in the informative stages, since only a relative handful of the numerous cases which have been brought under this rule have gotten a final judgment. However, it does appear to be fairly clear that a plaintiff may sue either for rescission or for damages in an action based on Rule 10b-5 of the Securities Exchange Act. All right, the cases are uniform in stating that one remedy which may be available to a defrauded plaintiff, which would be you, under Rule 10b-5, is to seek rescission of the transaction and recover his securities. That's if you are a seller. All right? If you're a seller of securities, which you sold a security to the loan company, you sold a security to the bank. That's how they purchase your house, your car, whatever. You sold a security. Y'all got that? Somebody put seller in the comments because you are a seller. Somebody put seller in the comments. So if you're a seller, you have the right to rescind the transaction and recover your securities. If you are a buyer, you have the right to recover the amount paid for the securities at the time of tender. So you are a seller when you are signing a security and giving it to somebody and they give you property. All right. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. We'll pick back up on this Wednesday. For the ones that got it, I'm happy y'all got it. I got to go write some more letters, though. So, I'm going to end up having to get off here. I've been on here 90 minutes. Y'all have any questions for me before I go? Any questions before I go? I need to fly to you. I'm in Houston. You're welcome. The name of the book is Securities Regulations. What time Wednesday? Let me see. So I'm on Central Time. Wednesday, 6:30 Central Time. 6:30 Central Time. She said, I can't wait till Wednesday. What about deposits? What about deposits? What you mean? What do you mean, Alex? Black Butterfly, are you saying 2 people need to come? Same remedy for deposits. So when you deposit something, you're selling it to them. They deposit it as an asset, so that means you sold it. Black Butterfly, just click the link in my bio and actually book the date, and then y'all can fly by. We can meet up. Send me an email. If y'all need me for the whole day, send me an email, and I'll give you a price. We could talk then. If anybody wants to email me for business-related inquiries, info@RebeccaSimoneInc.com. It's linked in my bio. Also, y'all know my number, 888-341-8140. If you forget either one, you can click the link in my bio because they're both linked in my bio. Securities regulations, got it. Thank you again. No problem. Y'all have a safe and wonderful afternoon. How do I get paid for my deposit? Greg, meet me in class Wednesday. Where you been this whole life? Where you been, bro? Step 1 in getting monetary compensation for any of this stuff is to learn the laws that govern it, okay? No problem. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. Gregory. Scroll through. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. Scroll up some because they have some thank you, beautiful butterfly. Thank you, Black Butterfly. I appreciate it. There are some laws that are referenced in my comments. Y'all, I'm probably going to upload this to YouTube, too. If y'all not following me on YouTube, well, follow me on YouTube, Rebecca Simone. Facebook, Rebecca Simone. Instagram, Rebecca Simone. I'm probably going to post this video to YouTube. So for the people who didn't catch it, y'all catch the replay on YouTube. And all the laws will be posted there. I've said it like 3 or 4 times. And I've shown the book a few times, too. So if y'all forget or whatever, or you need some type of refresher, I'm gonna post it on YouTube for y'all. And there go my son and his damn pull up. Go to her page. She gives a lot of free stuff. Yeah, my pen style has a lot of free stuff on it. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to go eat some leftovers. Thanks for reposting. Just getting here. No problem. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, okay? Got some juice?